He ain't heavy. He's John Rambo. This is Rambo 3 on Stinker Madness.
Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. We got the Stinker Madness.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness, the podcast about bad movies by bad movie lovers for bad movie lovers. I am your host, Justin. With me are Sam and Jackie. John Rambo's not here, but he isn't spirit. How are you guys?
I'm good. I'm better now that I know that he ain't heavy. He's my brother.
He's my brother. What a man.
I was just excited that they obviously have some decent hair products in Afghanistan.
His hair. Whew.
It's a bad decade for hair.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
But my God.
Actually, it's a good decade for hair because the hair's happy. It's full and bouncy and lovely. It's the eyeballs that aren't happy.
They're looking at people doing these things to their head.
Oh, boy. Wow.
There's no way that he can live anywhere that's farther than 1 mile away from like thousands of dollars worth of Paul Mitchell.
Right. Absolutely. It's a power mullet, but it's bouncy and full of life and zest. And
if he was like his hair is nicer and has a better sheen than a prize beaver pelt.
Absolutely. He looks incredible.
A woman would wear his scalp as ornamental clothing.
He wears no shirt for the majority of this film.
Yeah, I think he has a shirt on for about 5 minutes.
He has a tank top. Did
Yeah.
anybody see him wear...
He had a shirt when he was at the construction site.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but he has it open all the way down to his belly button almost.
And he's more scarred up than he was in Rambo 2. Did anybody feel that way?
Yeah, it's probably because of the cage fighting.
Yeah.
Stick fighting, sir.
Well, I bet there's some cages and there's got to be more than just sticks.
Ladder matches?
Well, I looked this up online to see if it was really actually called stick fighting.
Huh, okay.
And it's actually called Kirby Krabong.
Kirby Kabon.
And it's a martial arts form of Thailand stick fighting.
Interesting.
And so it's a real thing.
Good for you, Jackie.
And but what kind of blew me away though is after I realized that stick fighting was an actual thing. So now Rambo is a martial arts guy.
He is, yes.
He's now completed all of the training.
He also does some spin kicks in this too.
He does some kicking.
Some roundhouses, the old back kick like a donkey, like a mule.
You think this is an answer, like this is him sort of reaching out to the audience that's left him for Norris, even though Norris's audience will be gone in about 4 years after the release of this film?
It seems that way.
Yeah.
Like the polarization between this, when you see the Corelco logo at the beginning and then at the end of it, you're like, man, this feels like a Canon film. It's way too expensive, but man, it's that level of stupidity, like Invasion USA or Delta Force type of ludicrousness.
I've always felt that Corelco was basically a high budget Canon.
Yeah. Their logo's even kind of similar.
It is very similar, yeah. They bring you the same schlock, and they just spend 3 times as much on it.
Yeah, it seems that way. Like, hey, you know what? Schwaz is doing something different than I am doing, so I'm not really concerned about that. But this Chuck Norris guy is kind of reining in on my, I hold all of the guns and shoot all of the bullets territory. I need to fucking kill 256 guys and also do karate.
Which is interesting because he starts out his career in Rocky and Rhinestone. So those are not... He's actually the guy that's muscled in on Norris's action.
Sort of, because this is... What year is this, 1986?
He's got nothing but like over the top and other...
Yeah, I mean, don't forget that First Blood Part 2 was already before this, which he killed
absolutely.
86 people in. Cobra was before this. He killed a bunch of people in Cobra. But then, yeah, Rambo 3. So he is like... I think he's stating that, you know what, this Chuck Norris guy? No, I'm the guy. I'm gonna show everybody. I'm your worst nightmare. It's not Chuck Norris.
But in 1993, we'd all had enough of both of them.
Yeah, for about 10 years.
Actually, I never really had enough of Norris. His movies got kind of stupid, but they were still fun. Whereas, like, now I think I could watch Cliffhanger. We watched Driven, which was hard.
That was tough.
Stallone got into there was that Daylight movie. He just got into some shit that I just didn't want to watch.
The mid-90s Stallone, all the way to about 2003, were awful. But now it's like, dude, I'm not even going to attempt a Chuck Norris, like, new Chuck Norris movie. Go fuck yourself. I'm going to go see every goddamn new Stallone movie ever.
Yeah, well, I think Joel Norris is pretty much done.
Yeah, right. But if he wasn't,
Yeah.
no. The Stallord is my preferred. Jackie, Chuck versus Rocky.
Rocky.
Yeah.
I'm a Rocky guy too. Don't forget the guy can't fucking act. We should.
Well, I know. I think that was
throw him under the bus because we're about to throw him under the bus real bad.
He can.
He can't.
He chooses not to most of the time. And let's not forget how much of a fucking butthole he is through making, like, the middle of his career, he became an unmitigated, unmanageable fucking nightmare.
Right, sure.
Just an on-set screaming child that couldn't be silenced. So, I mean, I love Stallone. I love all the movies by and large without those 90s ones, but he had his problems.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, there's certain things that can be said for the career of Norris, who could not act.
No.
Or what it is more with Norris is that he feels that he is acting like a normal human. He just isn't one.
Yes. Has Chuck Norris ever approached this type of body count, though? I don't think he has.
I don't really think so, no. The Code of Silence has kind of a high body count, but it's not anywhere near this.
Delta Force has a high body count, but it's a lot of people killing a lot of people,
Yeah.
not just Chuck Norris killing people. Whereas this is, like, Richard Crenna gets a few. Troutman helps out a little bit, but John Rambo is tearing through life here.
Yes, he is.
I mean, give him a week, and the war is really over in Afghanistan because there's no more Russians. There may not be any more Afghanis or Afghans. Afghani's the language. Afghan is what you call the people.
Or the blanket.
Or the dog.
Yeah, the rug. Yeah. Or
Yeah.
the dog. Afghan dog. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, those big, weird-looking furry
They have
things.
the long hair that you need Vidal Sassoon for.
Yeah, the John Rambo of
That's
dog.
why John Rambo's hair is able to look so good, because they already have that. Even though it's a war-torn country, they've got all this high-market shampoo for their dogs.
Yeah.
No.
No, not really. So, John Rambo in Rambo 3 is impervious to bullets. He's not impervious to bullets. They just are itchy. They're not very bothersome.
They're moderately annoying.
Yeah. But they're mostly afraid of him. Rockets are afraid of him. Tank shells are afraid of him.
Fire is at large is
Fire
afraid of him.
jumps out of his way. Yeah.
I am pretty sure that I saw John Rambo teleport in this movie.
I think you did too.
Yeah, when they're in the cave and he jumps, they just put a cut in there, so he obviously spans a distance of about 30 feet in the blink of an eye, and is just over a rock, so he can teleport now.
He has unlimited guns. He can summon guns with his magic spells from nowhere.
That's his martial arts skills.
Is gun summoning.
Gun summoning.
Yeah.
It just kind of came as the package deal, like stick fighting and gun summoning.
Hey, here's a grenade launcher. I guess I have this now. I'll blow some shit up. And I'm still questioning his explosive bow and arrow bringing out. Where was he keeping that thing?
There, he actually had it on his back through that. I don't know where it was before that sequence, but they do, after they escape the prison, he's wearing the same satchel thing that was in Rambo 2.
It seems pretty big, and he's got a lot of arrows, and he assembles this thing, so it's going to get even bigger, and I question his backpack of bow and arrow tools.
The only way that you could explain it is that he's left himself sort of a, like, breadcrumbs that are actually weapons on his way out that he can burn through as part of his escape plan, and that's the sort of one at the end of the tunnel is his bow and arrow.
That could be. I could see that. Okay.
I personally liked the bow and arrow scene when he's putting the bow and arrow together, and the plane is going to get you before you get that bow and arrow up.
Well,
But the plane seems to take a really long time to get there, and he's like, yep, got it built.
did you, you did see Rambo 2, where a man is shooting many bullets at him, and he is slowly getting the bow and arrow loaded so that he can shoot him and explode him.
Draws it. Takes him 4.5 seconds to draw the arrow and the bow.
The other guy has gone through 6 clips.
He's used all the bullets in his AK-47, thrown it to the side, and has emptied his 45. And now he puts his arms to his sides and turns his head because he's ready to be exploded by Rambo, who is now finally ready to shoot the fucking arrow. And he does it again to the helicopter.
Yep, pretty much. Ay. So he's helping the people of Afghan.
He is fighting with the Mujahideen.
I'm just going to burn this right now. Did anybody else get a little offended in this movie?
It's tough to watch propaganda. This is
propaganda.
anti-Soviet propaganda. It has backfired on Carolco 3 times now because I think this film fucking bankrupted them. Two, the Soviets disengaged before the movie was released, so they couldn't even spew the propaganda properly because Afghanistan was no longer under Soviet control when the movie came out. And then, lo and behold, so many years later, who else went into Afghanistan? And now situations in the political climate are completely different.
Yeah, and that these freedom fighters, because that's what they're called.
Oh, yeah.
They're not called jihadists and that's what mujahideen is. It's a if you translate it, it's holy warrior.
Something like that, yeah.
And none of that is really like, they're heroes. They're the good guys. They're the small man fighting the big evil government. They were fucking committing genocide at this point.
Yeah, that's
John.
The thing that this movie and all of the shit surrounding every false point of view with Afghanistan is that it's like all of these other countries are coming in and trying to... It's been in a civil war, and yes, many other countries have tried to influence that civil war, but there's sort of good and bad to all of the combatants that are interior border combatants.
Yeah.
There's some bad guys there. There's some good guys there, but this was sort of a really shitty stool to try to stand on.
I think he could have just asked somebody, like the Mujahideen. What's their story? Well, they fight the Soviets. Nope, that's all I need to know.
Yeah.
I'm done. They must be good guys. They must be good guys because
They
they're
must
fighting
be.
the Soviets.
Yes.
And we don't like the Soviets because they're communist. Why don't we like the communists?
Because of the 50s.
Yeah. We got to really,
Ooh.
it's a head scratcher on that
Why do
one,
we not
but
like communisms?
they're bad.
Okay, they are bad. We know that.
If they have their way, well, boy, howdy, you wouldn't like that.
Then we'll be communists.
I guess. Next thing you know, the Queen of England will be in here telling you what to do. Wait, that's not communism.
What is communism?
Wait.
Dude, seriously, Sylvester, if you're gonna try to make a fucking political statement, ask somebody anything. Hey, are these guys committing genocide against Kurdish people by chance? They are. Oh shit. I guess I can't use them. He never bothered. Hey,
No.
Kosovo, Sarajevo, Bosnia.
I think those are geographically separated by long
The
distances.
Mujahideen went into all those places and killed women and children.
I cannot confirm that.
Look it up.
Okay, I'm not gonna
Yep, look it up.
take your word for it.
You don't have to. It's.
I think what was
all over
most
the
disturbing
internet.
to me is that they tried to justify why the kids had guns. Well,
Sure.
his parents are dead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're not going to raise him. Now he just gets to be a soldier. Like,
Yeah, right.
That's the state of their civil war. That anyone that can hold a gun's now fighting.
I don't think that John Rambo left this country in good condition. He
It
left.
seemed like he went in. He had a Jeep,
Yeah.
been shot in the leg, and shot fire.
No, not
through his-
him is in good condition. The country's in bad condition. I don't think he's solving anybody's problems here. I think he just went and made it worse. Sorry, Troutman, but I don't think you're coming back from this one.
Trautman has really blue eyes.
Richard Crenna?
Yeah.
Richard Crenna kind of stinks in this one, too.
It's just like all the close-ups of his face, and maybe it was because, he was in that prison cell, and he had to look through the little peephole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess maybe I had noticed before, but his eyes just seemed really, really blue.
The diversion from Troutman from First Blood to this film, they're not the same character. Troutman in the beginning, or in First Blood, is kind of, he's cold about John. They're not friends. They're not bros. He cares about John because he's one of his people, but he's more like, I am here to get I'm here to help you people not get killed by John Rambo. I'm not here to help John Rambo.
I'm correcting a mistake.
Right. This one, they're bros. They're like, yeah, dude, Knuckles, you just fucking killed the shit out of that guy.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, bruh.
It's like back in Nam, those fun days called Vietnam that you and I had a great time.
It was a party.
Yeah, no, everything about this is like, it stinks of wrongness. They're celebrating the good times of Vietnam while high-fiving the Mujahideen. So they really missed the boat on this one.
All right, let's get into this thing. So Troutman's cruising around Thailand looking for John. He's got a job for John. Somebody's got a job for John. And John apparently is in Thailand. And he's just walking around the streets of Thailand showing a picture of John Rambo to
Anybody.
And I guess they know because they're like, yeah, that way.
I thought that most of them didn't know who the hell he was until they went on this a little bit seedy looking night area.
Uh-huh.
You know, this guy's standing out there and he's like, oh yeah, that guy. He's bam over there.
Yeah, he's
The seedy area. With all the higher end areas of Bangkok at this point, I don't know him.
But in the seedy areas of Bangkok, everybody knows who John Rambo is.
and he's doing this stick fighting, and he struggles at first against his guy.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to lose because this guy obviously put some effort into his red pants.
Mm.
I mean, it had some design to it. He looked kind of fancy compared to the Rambo, and I was like, all right, so they're gonna find him at this fight, but he's gonna get his ass kicked.
Just because the other guy's wearing red pants and he looks fancy.
Yeah, he did look fancy.
Looking fancy is usually not the sign of a good fighter.
Franco Nero would have something to say about that. Fancy.
But yeah, he struggles, but then I guess he digs deep and comes back and beats the guy up. But he shows mercy, you know. He's like, hey, bro, good fight. And
You're not heavy.
Yeah. But he wins and he leaves without seeing Troutman. And the next thing, Troutman doesn't, hey, where'd he go? Where is he at? He just shows up at his monastery because John Rambo's living on top of a mountain, helping out monks build their Thailand temples. I don't know. Those are actually called something, but they're pretty
It looked
cool
like
looking.
it was going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, they are cool.
When they got done with it. I mean, it had some copper, had some pretty fancy doors on it.
He's forming the copper roof thing, I guess.
So I think between fight time and monastery time, Troutman's still like, well, where do I find him? Asking the people of Thailand. And they direct him up there. How did he get up there? He had to have information like, white man on top of monastery.
I think he just saw him with the monks.
Hmm.
And that was his hint that he was living with monks.
Oh,
Because he gives the money and everything from the fight to the little monk kid.
Yeah, so I know exactly which monks those are because I'm from fucking Thailand. Troutman doesn't know shit.
He's obviously a worldly colonel that knows shit about fuck.
Yes.
He knows everything.
Well, how do you know it wasn't the other guy?
Before we get too far, the stick fighter I have to mention is Harold Diamond.
Oh, Harold Diamond
From all the Andy
Murder,
Sedaris
She Wrote.
movies.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the long-haired guy, action guy in all the Andy Sedaris movies.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so we shout out to Harold Diamond.
Nice.
Get beat up by Rambo. Good job.
Good job. Everybody else did too. And all right, so they've got this guy Griggs, who is Red Foreman.
Not in the movie very much.
Not in the movie very much. And he'd already done RoboCop. He's had a sizable role. I mean, like,
That sucks.
it's sure, but like he's done stuff. It's not like he's a nobody. He gets high billing, and he's in 2 scenes.
But at the same time, he does have as many lines as just about anybody else.
That's true.
'Cause nobody besides Krenna and Stallone really get any screen time.
Yeah.
Hardly at all.
And Stallone's only line is, yeah. When he does the fire burn thing, he goes, ooh,
Could you imagine being in the ADR with him, trying to hold a straight face, which is like,
sound like you're in pain. Now jump over something.
he's probably like making very realistic sounds, and then the sound designer's like, I really need you to sound like a drunk seal. Can you do that? Perfect.
That's the one. That's my dream job, man. That'd be so much fun. Sound really stupid right here, John. I mean, not stupid. Sound really cool. You sound stupid. So Griggs wants John to help him out and go into Afghanistan. And
This is dubious as fuck.
it is.
Because they're like, oh, there's one area that isn't holding its own against this brutal Soviet guy, commander of some sort.
Mm.
So we just need somebody to go in and take a look.
To investigate.
To investigate.
But look at these sad photos of these children.
They already have photos of the children.
The children. Well, I don't think those are.
Somebody went in and investigated and got pictures.
Those are like moon landing photos. They're totally fake.
They just got some child actors.
Yeah,
to pose.
that's how they sell.
Yeah. Oh, brother.
And
Getty Images.
I mean, like, honestly, when has Rambo ever given a shit about the children up to this point? I mean, like, I don't think he has. Why use that as a tactic?
I don't know.
Maybe you should just go in with old Troutman there and say, dude, bro favor.
There hasn't been a child in a Rambo movie until this point that I know of.
And First Blood kind of leads you to the assumption, not an assumption, but if you see First Blood before Rambo 2 or Rambo 3, and you ask somebody, do you think it's possible that John did some bad things in Vietnam? Like some bad things?
He had to have.
Your answer's probably going to be like, yeah, I could see that. I could totally see John doing some real fucking bad things in Vietnam.
Yeah.
But now suddenly, I gotta help the children. You do? When did that happen?
Yeah, I don't think he gave two fucks about them.
By, and then to say like he's not doing bad things now. He hangs a man and then blows him up.
True.
That's not a good thing.
Right.
Saint Rambo.
So if things go how he wants at this meeting, I think John's just going to go in there and be like, I did your investigating. It's pretty crappy. Like, what? Okay, then what?
No, when I say investigate, I need you to investigate everybody with this pile of guns here.
Investigate their insides.
How'd the investigation go? Pretty good. Everybody but me is dead. The whole continent.
So I saw what everybody was made out of. God damn it. All right, fine. But he refuses. Like, I can't do it. My war is over. But apparently his war is not over. His war on the outside is over, but not the one on the inside.
According to amateur psychologist Colonel Troutman.
Right.
He's everything else, so why not?
He's got him dialed in. So what Troutman wants to do is have John go in and kill a bunch of people so that he can find inner peace.
Why, doesn't that sound perfectly reasonable to you? The only way that you're going to be happy is if you're murdering boatloads of motherfuckers. That's what?
Then you'll find your inner calm.
Your inner peace. When you're pulling someone's head off their body, you're going to feel a lot better.
It'll be like you just took a huge dump.
Yeah, like
and
you
feel great.
Some people, they run for the high. Others, they like cupcakes. You like disemboweling other human beings, and that's just who you are, buddy. You can't turn your back on it.
Yeah, just live with it.
That's he does that. You can't turn your back on it. This is who you are. You're not helping.
You're a living embodiment of the Grim Reaper.
Oh my God. So he still refuses him though. And Troutman goes in solo with his little team, no John. And he gets totally, like, all his guys get wiped out by...
It's like they go to the first checkpoint and they get immediately fucked up. Like,
shredded.
What kind of a shit plan was this in the first place?
Just shredded by the Soviet Hind. It's a Hind helicopter.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be. It's just a Sikorsky Sea King with a bunch of shit hanging off of it. Because we didn't even really know what those things looked like until 20 years from now or whatever, when this movie was made. But
what do you mean we didn't know what they looked like? Because
they, like a lot of the...
You would just see one and then get killed by it so you couldn't tell anybody?
The photos, I've seen some of the photos that the movies worked off of from like Soviet designs. Like these are like fucking, they're camouflage that they copied. The pictures look like pictures of Sasquatch.
Huh.
Like there's a point that, I mean, we don't really, when we're in a Cold War, you only know so much about what the other people are holding. And that's where they knew that they had these sort of mock wings that held shit. Other than that, they had no idea what those looked like. So they just put that crap on other large helicopters and called it good.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Good for them.
But to get back
Good
to
for the Russians.
Oh yeah, no, you got to be secretive about your shit.
Yeah.
To get back to Troutman getting captured, I mean, if you're going into controlled territory, you can't drive in with the fucking lights on in a Jeep. That's what they do.
Explicitly state that he barely made it across the border. He just made it in and got captured. What was his plan?
I don't know.
He didn't get very far. Like, he's got a long ways to go, and he just made it across the border.
His men are all dying. He's got a dictaphone. Investigation log 1. It's hard to get into Afghanistan. Click.
So John gets told by Griggs that, hey, just want to let you know, didn't go so well. Okay.
I just thought you should know. You flew all the way to Bangkok to tell me that things are shitty. Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
So John's like, I'm going to go in. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Save him.
And then it's, of course, we won't acknowledge you if you get caught. You're on your own. Yada, yada, yada.
Right. Which, that gets crammed down our faces. I hear that all the time.
It actually says that on the back of my business card. The front of my business card is me pulling someone's head off.
And I like that suddenly he cares so much about Troutman. He's not cared about anything, ever.
They try to do something at the front end where that short conversation, he's like, yeah, I really appreciate you getting me out of prison.
Yeah.
And that's like, it doesn't go far enough here, but that's as far as they go to try to set up his like infinite debt or whatever, and that they're best friends now or whatever it is.
Yeah. So he goes to Pakistan. He meets this informant guy in a store. I don't know what this guy's name is. It's something I can't pronounce probably. It's like Mazatlan.
Well, at least they address the hanging limbs and crutches everywhere, right next to the gun section
Yeah, well, you
of
got
this
the
store.
guns next to the wooden legs and the crutches.
Yeah, and they were like, well, there's lots of landmines, and so people come in here for a gun and a leg.
Well, the way that war's going, you come in for a gun and you come back for the leg and the crutch. He's got all of his bases covered. He's an entrepreneur.
And this guy is like, no way, man. You're not the guy. John's like, I'm pretty sure I'm the guy. I don't think you are. You look like a tourist. I'm no tourist.
He's a tourist of death.
Yeah. He's touring all of the death.
Yeah.
Haven't tried this one before. And he gets supplies. He's got some ticking bombs, electric bombs,
some
digital clock bombs.
Digital clock C4 bullshit.
Yeah. And
calculator watches that we are to believe explode.
Yeah. And glow sticks.
These glow sticks just sort of come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I think he put them in his buns.
Yeah, it's again the breadcrumbs trail of stuff. But yeah. So he's got glow sticks. Huh, what's with the glow sticks? I can't imagine that's going to pay off later.
Glow sticks were really fucking sweet in 1988, you got to admit.
Glow sticks are pretty fucking sweet right now.
They are pretty fucking sweet right now.
You're going to have a real hell of a party with glow sticks.
Just a blanket and a glow stick and 20 minutes of waving it back and forth, and you realize, what the fuck am I doing?
I also need a fifth of whiskey, but I'm going to have a good time.
I can usually get there just with the glow stick.
So Troutman meets the colonel of Russia because he's the general of the army, I guess.
General disappointment.
He's
Yakov Smirnov.
If you can defeat this guy, the war is over. You've won. You've defeated Russia. He's the Russian military, it seems like they're building him up to be.
This guy, yeah, he's the most capable commander and the Soviet Union has, even though he's a total doofus.
And it seems like his one job is just to blow up villagers and sit in his base, and that's about it.
Yeah. Well, what else are you going to do?
I don't know. I'm not a military guy, but I don't think this guy is either.
Yeah, well, his command structure seems scattered at best. You see the commands that they give each other. Hold still. Now go to the right and hold still. Look for people. What? I can't do all those things at once.
If you come forward, we won't shoot you. Put your weapons on the ground and stay right there.
I need you to shake both your legs at the same time, but I can't float.
Where is he? Go, 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 go.
Go, 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 go. I heard someone in there. Let's get him. There's explosions. You didn't hear someone talking. there's explosions.
One Russian says charge at one point.
Yes, charge.
Charge.
To another, there's only one other guy.
Charge.
Charge Rambo, you and me, let's get him. It doesn't work. He fucking kills them both.
Nobody says charge.
No one says that. Yeah.
Nobody said that since 1776. Because the last time somebody charged, they just got shot.
Yeah, no, charge is like, are you guys ready to die? Yep, let's do it.
Charge.
Charge.
God damn it. Charge.
And the dogs, they get all fucking wrapped up in these two dogs.
Comrade Rex.
Comrade Rex. The dog is named Rex, but it's subtitled Rex, so it's Russian for Rex.
One of the subtitles with the dogs says, "What is it, doggy?" I don't think Russian bad guys that are killing villagers are going to be like, "What is it, doggy? Little doggy. Oh, you're such a cute little doggy."
Well, there's probably What is it, boy? Is Timmy trapped in the well? No, shit's blowing up next to you.
Yeah,
you should see that.
Hey, stupid. Bark, 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 bark.
Bark, bark, bark.
Yeah, I think the dogs spoke better language than the Russian guys.
Yeah, I don't know what
Wow.
happened at the writing phase with these subtitles, but
Even if you can't translate it,
well, no, it's
don't even bother. Just
but-
write something that makes sense.
That's the thing, is that you're writing. You're not like, oh, let's go get somebody to write some shit in Russian. You're writing it in English and then hoping that it's translatable to Russian for the actors.
Right.
I am gonna guess that the actors are just making noises.
Sure.
Because the colonel at one point, he's just like, like that's not fucking Russian.
That's not Russian.
Yeah, that was one of my questions. I was like, do you guys really think that they were speaking Russian, or were they just making up gibberish?
I think it's gibberish.
I think it is gibberish too.
I think the subtitles are so bad that it is worth winning the worst picture of the year for.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
That's a travesty in filmmaking.
It's just, it doesn't make don't put anything up there.
Nothing.
It is such a detriment. Which I guess we should mention Sheldon Lettich at this point, the other writer besides Stallone.
Okay.
Because it's either one of the two of them that decided these subtitles were a good idea. And that one of the two of them wrote them. And Sheldon Lettich also wrote a bunch of Van Damme movies, so he's probably not a very good writer.
Get in there. Follow me.
Get in there, follow me. Wait. Okay, wait, what? Go right. Follow me. They do that a lot. Like, they give an instruction and then follow me. Like,
Check both sides and go right.
yeah.
God damn it. That's
Hold
not,
still and walk forward.
That is not language.
Can't do that.
This movie is worth watching just for the subtitles alone.
It's the one thing I noticed, having seen this a bunch of times. I knew everything that was stupid except that. This time around, I was like, holy shit, these subtitles are atrocious.
It's kind of like when they're trying to introduce the fact that there are dogs on the base, and in order to do that, they subtitle in these two people talking in Russian. Hey, Ivan, did you feed the dog today? Yeah, I did, but she's just nervous.
That's not what? Okay. Well, thanks for telling me about her internal psyche. But did you feed her? Okay, good. I'm going to go over here now because you're a fucking weirdo.
Yeah. Hey, Glenn, have you heard about the new pants? Cars can go fast. What?
Hey, Greg, have a grenade.
Here you go. Just hold this. Just hold this. I'm going to go over there.
All right, so the colonel comes in and he wants Troutman to betray himself. He's like, suddenly.
Who do you work for? Me. Who do you tell? He's like, I'm not telling.
Suddenly, there's Stinger missiles involved.
Yeah, they said that at the beginning.
Okay,
But I thought that the Russians were supposed to have the Stinger missiles.
No, at the beginning, Kurtwood Smith and Troutman tell Rambo that they've been sneaking in. Somebody's been sneaking in missiles, and that it's going swimmingly except in this one area.
but they want Troutman's there to investigate, not courier in Stinger missiles.
Yeah, I don't understand. That's where at the very beginning, if we rewind it, I said it's dubious because, like, investigate what?
Exactly.
You just put the missiles there and they work or they don't. Like, the investigation is it didn't work. These guys are good. I don't understand what's going on here.
The colonel wants him to do something that he cannot do.
So he is like, where are the missiles? And finally, you think that Troutman's had enough and he's given up. And he's like, well, come closer. And he goes, in your ass.
Yeah, where are they? In your ass. Like, it's supposed to be like a really dramatic line, and it is goofy.
Yeah, because I was about to say I forgot about the line completely, and so I was gonna riff joke. If it was in your butt, you'd know. But then he does it in
Right.
the movie, and you're like, "Oh shit,
It's
that's so stupid."
It is very third grade esque answer. Like that's what you've brought, Troutman, in your butt.
Yeah,
Well, you know what's funny though is that when he's saying it, you can tell that he's trying really hard not to laugh because he thinks it's funny. He's like, "Fuck you, Russian guy."
if it was doing the launch, like, what are the launch codes, Troutman, and he punches in 80085.
And then giggles.
Yeah. Why is the 80085 is not working? Are you sure got them in the right order, Yosef? Okay, these aren't the right codes, Troutman.
That would have been another good scene to put in there.
They're the right codes for me. I like those codes.
Try 69.
Okay.
That's not the same digits.
Fuck. Oh my god. I like their torture of Troutman too.
They just pull him up and down.
Oh no!
I'm sure it hurts a little
A
bit.
little bit, but that's as far as they're gonna go. They're shocking other people's balls and shit.
Yeah. They do, like, after the fact, come in and start working him over real nice. But for the most part, yeah, they just sort of hoist and unhoist him. Not.
They also put that thing around his neck and then like choke walk him into the office.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's not torture. That's just leading him places
Transportation.
painfully. So informant, helper, Afghan guy leads Rambo through some caves on their way to this base, and they end up at a village where they meet the people of Afghan, the noble warriors of Afghanistan, and this shit sucks.
Yeah, they have like a round table.
I'm going to burn a question.
Okay.
Was the story about the king and the 5 dudes, was that supposed to come back somewhere and be like an I am the king with the 5 dudes?
I don't think so.
Because I kind of thought that that's what he was doing at the meeting, the staff meeting that they were having. And he was like, I just need 2 dudes to go in with me and 2 dudes to wait. And that's 5 people.
But they won't help him because they're not ready yet.
I thought he only wanted 2 people to just show him where to go, and everything else was, he was kosher after the 2 people.
Well, but then why did they throw such a big tissy fit? Like, don't go. Don't leave.
Well, they don't want him to jack up their operation.
He's going to jack up their whole country.
Well, they don't know that yet. They don't know this guy. They don't realize that he's the human personification of death.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
when he shows up, people's heads explode, and Judas Priest plays out of his ass.
This is like him in this village, I think almost takes 20 minutes of the film.
This whole movie's weird like that. That like it takes forever to get going, but then once it starts going, it is not stopping at all.
It's because you got to have that message that, hey, you know what? The communists are bad.
Yeah.
And because these guys don't like the communists, they're fucking heroes. And we got to really show. It's so fucking preachy right here. I hated this section.
That was bad.
Not because of any personal go America shit, but just because it was like, dude, you are. It's as bad as James, what's his last name from Birdemic, preaching about the environment in a shitty fucking way.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you are making me sit through this because you want to make a fucking statement about something you have no fucking clue about, you
And
fucking asshole.
You can't even really accuse them of being short-sighted because they're not being short-sighted. They're pandering.
Uh-huh.
They're actually just trying to. I hate the term, but pandering to the lowest common denominator. The Soviets are still barely the enemy, so they're selling that.
Yeah.
And 2 years from now, it'll be the drug dealers that are the bad guys or whatever.
Right.
But it's just so shitty. Like, oh, that's what's bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad because I say it's bad, and then you have, oh boy.
Yeah, and then you have the part that they leave the meeting and I go, what the fuck? It's a goat game.
Goat ball. Goat horse ball.
I just don't see how you can make this look like it's a thing that's not horrendous.
It's a dead fucking goat.
That you toss around like it's a football.
And you chase each other around like savages and you're beating the shit out of everybody else to try to get the goat.
It's very barbarian-esque. It is offensive if these people are heroes. If these are who we should be aspiring to be, I'm out.
Because you can't eat that goat afterwards.
No.
It's ruined.
You've
And-
just murdered an animal so you could be cruel to it.
So that you could do the same thing with it that you could do with a large rock or a sack of weeds.
Yep.
Drop it in the... Well, you have to have the goat to drop it in the ring. You could drop anything in the
You
ring.
can do that. You're just being fucking cruel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are not heroes.
And at that point, you're like, oh, I hope they all die.
Yeah, pretty much. And at the same time, I'm questioning John Rambo because they're
He's
like, hey, we're going to play horseball. You want to play?
I got nothing else going on. Sure.
And the guy's even like, oh, you don't have to do it. And he's like, no, I want to do
No,
it.
I'm in, man. That looks
Yeah.
sweet.
You pulled the head off of it already, but I would have wanted to pull the head off of it, but now that it's already headless, I'll still play.
Well, I got nothing else to do. Maybe we'll play this again tomorrow.
Oh,
Did you forget why you're here, John? You've got a buddy to rescue. Your whole plan was to go into this base by yourself, but now you're like,
I play this game.
So I don't know if that was supposed to be like him bonding with the village, even though they pushed him off of his horse, tried to trample him
right?
to get the goat out of his hand because he was no longer on a horse anymore. And then now he's bonded with these people so that when the airplanes come in and wipe them all out, then he gives a shit about the children and all that crap, and he's going to go save Troutman. And
I think he starts, I don't know when he cares, but they actually care about him when he shoots down the helicopter with the 50 cal.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't really like, even after the horse ball or whatever the fuck it is, they don't really care about him until they see him, kill the enemy. Then the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
They've sent 2 choppers and do a nice job of blowing this village up. They pretty much kill everybody.
which was awesome.
Yeah. But John has now demonstrated that he is faster than bullets fired and missiles from a chopper. He
Yes.
outruns them.
Consistently and frequently.
Outruns the fire and gets on top of the I don't think it's a 50 cal. I think it's a anti-aircraft gun.
Either way.
Yeah.
20
Well,
millimeter.
Blows
Call
one
it-
up.
Yeah, let's call it a 20 millimeter anti-aircraft. He blows it up.
So we get our first exploding chopper. First of several exploding choppers.
And that is a stinker staple.
That's the number 1 stinker staple.
And to the fact that it happened more than once in this movie was like, you know what? Yeah.
I think.
If only this thing had a phone that didn't work right.
Yeah. Oh, let's watch it again. See, maybe,
Yeah,
maybe there was.
There might have been one
Yeah,
in the
there might have been.
Russian base, like that they picked it up and then hung up the phone and said, hello? The phone's not.
Or they pick up the dialer. Hello.
Yeah,
Go go go. What?
it's a football phone, but it's plugged into a sheep. Hello?
You speak into the sheep's mouth and
Yeah.
listen to its ear. So now he's butthurt about this. He's now not just in this to rescue Troutman. It seems like he wants to win the war in Afghanistan for
He
the
does.
Mujahideen.
For freedom and no bad communism against.
Bad.
Bad communism.
Yep.
No freedom.
They're bad guys. I got to save all these people. I got to win this fucking war. I'm going to put this country on my back. And I might also rescue my friend while doing it. But first,
Yeah.
he's also singed. We should mention that. He suddenly is
Charbroiled.
he's very dirty looking now.
He's done. He's not overcooked, but he's done.
Yeah. Didn't you refer to him as a piece of chicken that would have been perfect from the barbecue?
Yeah, it would be delicious if he was chicken.
Yeah. It was like, I could see that.
I would eat John Rambo.
I would eat John Rambo right now.
I bet he's eating humans.
John Rambo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Vietnam.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. He, like I say, bad things.
Killed a
Bad
panda
things.
bear there.
Oh, dude. He tore through panda bears. There's a reason why they're running low. It's because they don't fuck. But but John Rambo killed
and then
some.
he eats them too. But they screwed more. He could eat more of them, and then they might be okay.
That's just lazy.
Yeah, stupid pandas. So he invades the base, and the kid from the village is now on his team, I guess. And he won't get out of here, kid. No. Okay.
All right. There's no telling you anything, is there?
And he knifes his way into the base.
This is the point where it's not a survival knife anymore. It's sort of the blade of a survival knife, but it's got like a blood vein missing. It's huge.
Super
Thing's
big.
like 9 inches long now.
It's pretty big.
And before you see him use the serrated edge in other movies to break wire fences, He's just cutting through locks
Uh-huh.
and the fence with the fucking blade now.
Yep.
This knife is almost as superpowered as he is.
It cuts through barbed wire
It's a magical unicorn
just
knife.
by chopping it.
Yeah, like
He doesn't even saw.
no, he just cuts it.
He just chops it.
He cuts a padlock by just dropping the blade on it. It is ridiculous.
This is Valerian steel, boys.
Oh.
Yes, it is. It could kill a White Walker without blinking.
Yep.
John could kill a White Walker with his death stares.
Whether he's got steel or not, you pull their heads off, they're probably not going to be happy.
But probably not. All right, so he's through, and they're all planting these bombs, him and the little Afghan guy and the kid, I guess. I don't know what the kid's doing this whole time, but he eventually gets involved.
He just follows them.
Yeah, but
He's sneaky.
he's sneaking. I don't know what he's doing while they're doing all this stuff, because John rides under a tank. The kid does not ride under the tank with him. So he's just like hanging out, I guess.
Yeah, and he's riding under the tank making a painful face and flexing. It seems like everything in this movie is like him giving himself another excuse to make a painful face and
Right.
flex more.
Absolutely.
Ropes, climbing, rock climbing, dragging by a tank, mending his own wounds. It's all like lip open flex.
He has nice muscles.
I guess he's been giving Jackie what she wants.
Yeah.
Flexins.
So he gets inside the prison and he finds Troutman's cell, but like the kid shows up.
This kid fucks everything up.
Does he? What
thought
would have
he
happened
saves
if
him
he
once.
hadn't been there? Because he finds Troutman's cell. He looks behind him, and the kid's like, Troutman's like, hey, look out. And it's the kid. And he's like, oh, okay, it's just the kid. But a fucking guard comes down the stairs and sees the kid. But if the kid hadn't been there, that guard would have come down the stairs either way.
But then Troutman would have said behind you, and then you just would have killed him.
He does kill him, but the guy fires first. He
Yeah.
shoots his gun because he can't kill him fast enough.
Okay, so the kid helped. He's a speed bump.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. The kid does not fuck anything up, in my opinion. He's
I
just,
think that he does. I think that the rescue would have went just fine if that little brat had not have been there.
that's, I think, what the film is trying to say, but it's not.
He's almost useful, I think.
Yeah, that guard would have come down those fucking stairs either way and fired his gun still, alerting all of the other guards who think that it's voices that they're hearing.
Yeah. I heard someone talking in there as fire is shooting out of the hole at him.
Uh-huh.
We should go in there because there are people talking.
There's people having
It's a fucking explosion.
a conversation I want to be involved with that sounds like
Burned your beard off. Yeah, that's talking. Don't want to meet that guy's wife. Oh.
so it goes poorly. There's chaos and explosions everywhere. I guess it doesn't sort of go poorly because they kill a lot of Russian guys.
And the way that they blow this thing up, I mean, that base is crippled for a week.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't work like that in the movie. They've got, and the Soviets have limitless. That base is actually a cornucopia of military supplies, but they single-handedly laid waste to that fortress.
They put a serious dent in the Russians' plans here.
Had that been a real engagement, even if they didn't have to spring anybody, if they blew that much shit up, there's a very good chance that that force would retreat to a different base camp.
Right.
There's very little operational equipment left.
Yeah, they'd be drinking Coronas at Dominic Toretto's backyard that afternoon. Like, good job, everybody. Clink. Blew the fuck up out of that. We didn't get Troutman. Dude, we blew the fuck up out of the Russians.
Well, I just mean like if
We
you
won.
were, if that was a fire base and you were part of that Soviet unit, all your shit gets blows up like that.
Mhm.
You either need to retreat or get immediate help.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
you can't hold the base anymore.
They're crippled. Yeah. But John gets shrapnel. Rambo gets he gets exploded and a piece of wood goes through his tummy.
It's a big rod or something.
Yeah.
It's a stick.
I think it's a stick.
It's yeah.
And the kid gets shot in the leg. Everybody gets shot in the leg.
The kid, he doesn't seem to be
Affected?
that upset about it.
No, not really.
He has a harder time walking, but he's like, oh, bullets.
Yeah. John rescues him and
I was hoping for instant death for that kid.
yeah. He kind of does. You don't really, I mean, he's not really even in the movie.
Yeah, he's at the end.
I know, but he's not really in the movie.
No.
But they go into the tunnels, and finally the glow sticks pay off because he's using them to. He knew that he was going to end up in dark places, I guess.
Yeah.
And they escape through the tunnels, but on the way out, he RPGs a truck at the gate, so they can't now chase him, I guess.
And this is another good point where they show something completely irrelevant. The Soviet troopers all tip the truck over after he blows it up.
Because I think it's blocking the gate.
The way that they tipped it over, did you notice that it barely, like, it's still in the fucking
It's still
way?
in the way, yeah.
And you know what's easier to move than a truck on its side? One on its wheels.
That's true.
Yeah.
Just push it forward till it
No,
rolls down
that
the hill.
was fucking stupid.
It was really stupid. But they're tough, Sam.
They are.
Ugh.
Foreshadowing. Tough guy.
So he sends the kid and the guy away, and he gives the necklace from Rambo 2, the lady's necklace, to the kid. I thought it was like, they remembered the necklace, but not the fucking character.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we've seen Rambo 2 and Rambo 1, but, yeah. And then he performs self-surgery in the cave.
This was awesome.
He pulls the stick out, and
He
his...
shoves his thumb in the
Yeah.
back of himself to push the stick out the other hole and then pulls it out.
His fake tummy looks shitty in the shot.
His whole thumb was in there.
I know. It looks crappy, though.
Yeah. I remember this being a big deal
Uh-huh.
when I was a kid. I remember talking about this in the schoolyard a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. He pours some gunpowder on the back hole and lights it on fire, and it shoots out. The fire shoots out both sides of his flesh hole.
I guess he's cauterized it
And he makes
poorly.
the stupidest sound.
I thought that was added to the
Oh, it's
ambiance
awesome.
of it.
It is so stupid. But the Russians are now searching for him. It's daytime. So they've got men trooping everywhere. The helicopters are flying all over. They got to get this guy. Because I guess vengeance at this point. You've killed
Vengeance at this
many
point.
of our brethren.
The base is burning down.
Yeah.
Most of your equipment's gone. There's dead men everywhere. Charge!
Yeah. Oof. So they're out looking for him, and he climbs up a cliff just with his hands. It's a fucking cliff.
Yeah.
Rock climbers that do this professionally would have gear. He just
Free
shimmies
climbs
right
it.
up.
Yep.
Yep. And that's how he gets into the prison a second time. Why didn't he just do that the first time?
I don't know. Well, you weren't going to be able to blow everything up. He did blow all that shit up.
Yeah, okay.
So
All right, I guess. All right, so he goes in and he gets Troutman. He frees everybody else, too, because they've got a bunch of prisoners. He frees like 30
people who turn into 3 people by the end of it.
Jesus, John. You killed those people. They were not happy, but safe in their prison cells. Now they're fucking dead.
Yeah.
Good job, bud. Because they steal a chopper, and it gets all shot up, just taken off. And he doesn't really use the chopper very well right here. You think
No.
he could just, like, blown a bunch of shit up.
And this is sort of the movie betraying itself, because in other points when the Russian commander's flying it, it's like a fucking flying tank.
Mhm.
And the things are known to be flying tanks.
Sure.
That it's just taking normal shots from rifles and it's going down now.
Yeah. And he at no point does he, like, try to pull up or anything. He just hovers and gets shot to shit and then crashes it.
Yeah.
And at post-crash, there was only 3 other people that make it out of that thing.
Yeah, it's...
I don't even know if he got all the other prisoners into the thing.
No, I guess maybe they ran off on their own or something.
To where? Bullets?
Well,
To Bullet Town?
I think they're more concerned about the helicopter than
Maybe.
some... At this point, Rambo's sort of public enemy number 1.
Yeah. I don't know. But him and Troutman head off on foot, and choppers are flying all over around looking for him. The colonel's now in his primary chopper looking around.
So Rambo steals his helicopter. There wasn't another one on the base.
Not...
You see it, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden he's got a fucking other helicopter.
Yeah, he's got another hind. But,
And then there's another one of the other helicopters
uh-huh.
with the guy that plays Eric von Stalin and Biggles flying it.
Yeah. So now he unleashes the explosive bow and arrow,
That was in the satchel on his back at some point, but
Fine.
not the whole time.
and he's blowing up choppers with it and blowing up people and arrowing people. And he jumps into a cave, and the hind drops a freaking bomb that looks like one of those Heineken...
It's a party keg.
Yeah, party keg. And it...
I thought it was supposed to be napalm.
yeah, it acts like napalm because it
Yeah.
explodes, but of course he's faster than fire.
That's why they put it in a party keg, is so that you're like, hey, party keg, and then like, oh, it's not a party keg.
John
No.
knew it wasn't a party. It's his kind
Yeah.
of party, but
He's like, sees it falling, like, party keg, done that 1,000 times.
yeah, classic move. I better run faster than fire. And the fire gets out of his way. Like there's a huge wall of flames. He jumps over it, but the guy controlling the gas turned it off.
This is mat work flames. Those aren't
don't
in.
think-
Yeah, I could
Then
tell.
why would you turn them off?
Well, I mean, you got to turn them on and off to get the the mock explosion, because these are like probably 6-inch
When
flames.
he should have jumped through the flames.
He should have, but
But when he jumps where they're located at, there is no flames at the time, and then he gets on the other side, and the flames roar up again.
and then teleports 30 feet.
Yes,
And then there's a last ditch of flames. It does terrible.
Fire is afraid of him.
It is.
It's allergic to John Rambo. Ay. The Spetsnaz, they follow into this cave that I guess everybody has repelling gear now.
Yep.
'Cause
It's like standard issues, what I'm looking
I
at.
guess if you're gonna catch a guy, better bring
Here's-
your repelling gear
A question.
Mhm.
How the fuck did they get there?
to the cave hole.
The helicopter's hovering. It didn't go
Uh-huh.
down.
No,
The other helicopter's blown up. The truck's in the way. They just show up.
they just
fucking
Yeah.
showed up and
Spec-
rappelled
yeah.
down there.
Yep, they sure do. Whoosh. And he's killing them silently though. Now he's made all this the music quiets and he's tiptoeing around and killing guys left and right, but they don't even know he's in there for sure. And I like the part where he shoots the guy with the glow stick.
This is another point where this is just not a flattering picture of competence being
Mhm.
painted of the Soviet army. And the
Mhm.
Spetsnaz, they're like Delta Force.
Right.
So these are the best of the best.
Uh-huh.
And the best of the best, when one of them gets shot with the glow stick, they're like, hey, that guy's got a glow stick in him. Shoot the fuck out of him. Because it was like, he wasn't even in a dark area.
Huh.
But now that his chest is glowing blue, we should fucking pelt him with about 40 more bullets. He's not going to live anyway. Just, what the hell are you guys doing?
You know which was even better, though, is the hand grenade that was attached to a string of a glow stick.
Oh, that was good.
Yep.
This guy's like, hey, sweet glow stick.
Glow stick.
Free glow stick. Like, totally Wile E. Coyote in it up there.
Exploded. Oh my god. So he tears through all these guys. And so he makes his way out. He does the rope climb up their ropes. And at the top, he's not even out of the thing. And the big main Russian tough guy picks him up by his head.
And pulls him out, which I always, every time I've seen it, even the first time, he was having a hell of a time getting out of there.
Uh-huh.
The guy grabs him and pulls him, like, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. You just if you're going to pick that,
Step on his head.
pick him up and then hold him over the hole and drop him.
Or just step on his something
He's
else.
fucking, you have a prime position to kill this guy and all you do is help him up.
Well, he's got to get him into his sweet finisher, the bear hug.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
Bear hug sucks.
It does. It's not a good move for
And-
fighting.
Even John Rambo looks stupid getting the bear hug because he's just like, and somehow this guy has got, I don't get the grenade, really. He's got a grenade, and John pulls the pin, and the guy's like, whoop, grenade, and explodes. But why, was there like a rope attached to this grenade or something?
Okay, so he's got, when they're wrestling around, they wrestle over the top of the rope.
Okay.
So then Rambo painstakingly through the fight gets the rope around his neck at least 3 times.
Okay.
So he's planning on hanging him anyway. But then once it gets into the situation where they're in the bear hug,
Mhm.
then he just pulls the pin on the grenade, which is kind of like flipping a coin.
Yeah, I guess.
Because if he feels like he's not getting it off in time,
He just holds on to you.
I'm just going to hold on to you.
Or what if he doesn't even notice that you pulled the pin?
Yeah, it's a fucking dicey
It's
move.
a dicey call.
So he pulls the pin, and then rather than the guy just pulling it off and throwing it, which is what you should have done,
Yeah.
he looks around bewildered and then allows Rambo to kick him, thereby pushing him down the hole where he is immediately killed by hanging
Uh-huh.
and then exploded.
Right. Boy, oi, 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 oi.
Boy,
Double
is
death.
that guy. And I had to write down what we eventually came up with because you were talking about when you get hung, you poop or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
But he's so dead, he didn't have time to shit.
That was pretty funny.
It's true. So he's running out of guys. They're walking down the hill, and the entire army blocks their route because I guess Colonel What's His Nuts just found a bunch more guys.
There's a whole. Yep. Well, that was our fake base that you blew up. Our
Yeah.
real base that has twice as much shit was behind it.
Armaments and other tanks.
It's like
and
the town in Blazing Saddles.
more chopper. Oh, Jesus.
Faked you out, Rambo.
He's like, and the Colonel's like, hold still, step forward, drop your weapons.
Again.
Well, he says, come forward and we will not hurt you.
Uh-huh.
drop your weapons and stay there. What's the next thing? We're not going to hurt you, though.
Do I come forward or do I drop? I can't. I can only do the one thing. Somebody told me about your subtitles being confusing, and now I get it.
And Troutman's like, I don't believe him. Me neither. If you don't believe him, why wouldn't he just fly his helicopter over and just shoot you to death? If he wanted you dead, if he wasn't being honest, he has the ability to kill you to death very easily right now.
Oh, yeah.
You are fucked. But he's like, he's not going to hold his word. Fuck him. I think it's the first time I've ever heard Rambo say the F word.
Yeah, which is, again, it's like the state of American cinema through the years is that you can explode a man with an arrow, and that's not bad. But the F word, stay away from that one.
Horrible acts of violence, just as long as you don't use any naughty words. But so they're trapped, and he blows up one of their guys with a fucking grenade launcher. Like, they're too far away to use a grenade launcher.
Yeah.
Oof.
And he blows up one of the peripheral vehicles that's got like two guys in it. Like, nice cosmetic move, Rambo.
Oh, Greg and Steve, the gas truck drivers.
Yeah.
Nice choice, John. Jesus, don't shoot for the chopper that's got all of the guns. But the Mujahideen ride in. Hooray! The cavalry.
This is super dramatic with the thundering herd. And, what is that? Oh.
I was expecting a robot to come over. Well, I'm not going to lie. They're like, what's that sound? I'm like, oh my God, Megatron's here.
Oh, it's Voltron.
I wanted it to be that, like, it's grumble, grumble, grumble. What does that sound? And then Rambo goes, I had burritos last night. It'll be okay.
Who tells the bad jokes in this podcast? Because that one stunk.
No, well, especially because it's pooping and burritos.
Burritos. Okay. So him and Troutman, they attack as well. And he's tearing through guys again, just mowing people down, picking up weapons wherever he gets them, pulls shit out of his ass and mows guys down. And Troutman gets shot in the shoulder, but he also doesn't really seem to mind.
Non-vital, getting hit by a bullet in a non-vital area is just not really that damaging, as if the 80s have taught me anything with film.
Yeah.
Getting shot in the shoulder or leg or butt is just a very moderate hindrance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's inconvenient, sure.
Sure.
It knocks you down.
But you're not going to die.
But
stings a little.
But
if
that's
old
about it.
Westerns have taught me anything, if you get shot in the stomach, you're just fucked.
You
Take, like,
die immediately.
3 days to die.
No,
Yeah.
in all movies I've seen, you get shot in the tummy, you die immediately. But if you get stabbed in the heart, you're okay. I don't know. Anyway, so John gets on a horse at one point, and he takes on a tank and a chopper while riding on a horse.
This is dumb that he even does this, because he gets shot off of it by the tank. So why did you even get on it in the first place?
Yeah.
I guess. I also have to say
drama.
He's no Wilford Brimley. Wilford Brimley in Hard Target was doing a much better job riding a horse fast than Sylvester Stallone. He should try to take a page from Wilford's book if he wants to try to do that again.
And then he gets in the tank. He steals a tank. And I guess Colonel's out of guys now because it's just him and John.
He's given a tank.
Yeah, okay.
Because there's no reason for these guys to get out of the tank.
No, it's empty.
And
he
so
just gets in it.
They get out so that they can be shot to death by Rambo and his buddies so that Rambo can have that tank.
Yeah.
So they just give it to him.
And then they have tank versus helicopter chicken. I don't think this is a good strategy. I don't think it's a good strategy for either party.
Well, and it's so amazing, though, that everybody just stops fighting to watch this game of chicken.
They're like, really?
Troutman's face is like, what? The battle stops as these two assholes are playing chicken with a helicopter and a tank.
Hey.
That's not the thing to do.
I've
been professional soldiering for 26 years, and I thought we covered this on day one.
I said that you were really good at stuff. This seems really dumb, John. I don't think this one's going to work out. Because they're firing all of their guns at each other. None of them hit each other.
No, they missed everything.
But then what happens? Like, I mean, if you're John Rambo or the other guy, where's your win?
Well, apparently if you're John Rambo, your win is if you can run into the helicopter.
Do you know that you're going to live throughout this thing? I'm not sure this helicopter wouldn't also blow up this tank.
Who knows? I probably would.
Yeah.
It's armed to the gills.
Yes. It is a flying tank versus a driving tank.
But I guess he has to get engaged with this guy because
he
all of his
very
gunners
engaged with
are
him.
dead.
Yeah.
But he's still able to control all of the guns on the helicopter Just as Rambo was able to control all of the guns in the tank that needed like 4 people to control.
That's true, and load it.
So he's just shooting multiple main gun rounds. So that's all I can figure is that he's found somebody else that has his superpower, and so he needs to take it to the limit.
Okay, there can
only be one.
Yeah, gotta chop that fucker's head off.
Ironically, they fired that director from this film.
Yeah, that's true.
Russell,
So the tank wins.
Kinda.
Yeah,
Rambo wins.
Yeah, Rambo
the tank,
wins.
the helicopter, and the other guy all lose.
I think
Rambo wins.
Maybe the tank is just stronger via the spirit of John Rambo.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's magic. So war's over, and the kid is like, "Why don't you stay, John? Help us. Stay here and be my daddy." And John can't. I don't know. Okay.
There was an alternate ending that he stayed,
Yeah. Okay. Well.
which would have been a really bad idea
Yeah. I don't know. Why is that? Oh, because then
because of the changing political climate of the world.
bad things later. Yes. Yeah.
Rambo
Maybe it would've made a
4,
difference.
Rambo versus the U.S. Army.
And then he ain't heavy. He's my brother. Really? That sucks.
You know, I get Rambo 2. He makes his brother's sappy shit for the trailer song or the credit song that nobody cares
Yeah,
about.
if you get Frank Stallone to sing this
It's
thing.
your brother.
Right.
Now you just got some sappy shit for no fucking reason.
None reason that does not fit with what we just saw. Like, just play the score again.
It just, yeah.
He ain't heavy. He's my brother. What's the fucking statement there?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he's not. He is heavy.
Yeah.
He's not my brother.
No.
He's lunatic murdering machine.
Gross misallocation of song.
Yeah. So, my first question, why couldn't he stay? Why not, John?
Because there's no Kmart there.
Those wagons in Bangkok don't fix themselves.
I guess not. It doesn't seem like he's got a whole lot going on. And it seems like he's very passionate about helping these people at one point. But then, now that he's done one step, I guess he's good.
I don't know. He had a pretty sweet pad in Thailand. I would go back. Ocean view, hammock.
Lady boys.
Yep. I would have told that kid to fuck off too.
All right.
So, my only question, I only have one.
Mhm.
Did he come to terms with his demons? Did he come full circle like Troutman said he would?
Oh, no, he does not. I hate to tell you, but Rambo 4. That's the answer to that question, Jackie. And nope.
Okay.
Where do they take that Jeep and how does that work out?
Yeah, that Jeep's only going like 5 miles an hour.
The other thing is when he tried to go in by Jeep, it was horribly unsuccessful. So where are they going in the Jeep?
I think that Russian guy was so important that the Soviets have pulled out. John Rambo has single-handedly changed the face of the planet.
They actually just drive the Jeep to Berlin and he just humps the wall down.
He might as well have humped the wall down.
Yeah.
And all of the other bad things. This is the turning point in world history, is John Rambo defeating the Russians in Afghanistan.
Oh, well, I guess they just drive it to wherever then, huh?
Yeah. What was your guys' favorite kill?
I mean, I have to go with the hanging blowed up. I mean, it's too much kill in one kill.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the tank helicopter chicken fight.
Okay.
But I will say this. It's not really a kill, but my favorite violent scene was him taking out his own stick
Okay. All right.
and then healing himself. I thought that was pretty awesome.
It is really fun, but it's
It's not a kill, but I liked it
looks
more
so
than
bad.
any of the other kills.
I think my favorite kill is the glow stick dumb shit.
The glow stick dumb shit is amazing.
That is the dumbest thing in film. Like, I've seen the double death several times in other films, and this one's really good because it's a guy that gets blown up. But I have never seen somebody get shot by their own men because of glow stick. It is so stupid. The world's best military force. Retard.
Hey, a glow stick.
Shoot it!
Then the other guy, I got a glow stick in me. Shoot that guy.
All right, so last question. Has nothing to do with the movie, but which do you guys think is more badass? A hind or an Apache?
Apache.
Yeah? Okay.
You know, I think that they both pale in comparison to the A-10, which isn't a helicopter, but it's just same purpose, way more effective.
Sure. I only care about the helicopters, though.
I think the Hind's cooler looking. I don't know.
Yeah,
I kind of don't care if it's more effective or not. It's like, well, that thing's badass.
Yeah, they're pretty badass looking. And They're like a video game staple where if you get chased by a hind in like every video game ever, and it's the hardest part of the video game. So I think hinds are pretty cool.
I jumped off of a rooftop and grabbed the rail of a hind and hijacked it in midair in Mercenaries 2.
Yeah, that's pretty
And
badass.
then destroyed an entire area of a city after I got in it.
That is very badass.
Yeah.
I've stolen my fair share of hinds as well, but you never steal Apaches.
No, I think they take 2 people to drive.
Yeah.
Probably a hind does too. They just don't care because we don't know shit about them still.
Right. So, final recommendations. I think this one's a no-brainer. I had a really good time with this movie. It's really, really fucking stupid and really, really fucking awesome.
I give it a do. I was super entertained.
I think it's required viewing.
Yeah, I do too.
It's the stupid Rambo, so you have to watch it. And it's hilarious.
Yeah, it is hilarious. Really bad. I think it's worth it just watching for the subtitles. Man.
Oh, that was incredible.
Yeah. So next week is Jackie's pick. I think we're doing License to Drive with the Feldmans. The first stop of the Feldmans.
The Coreys. Heyman Feldman.
I'm an idiot. Yeah, it's the Coreys.
The Coreys and Heather Graham.
And Heather Graham, yes. The movie that gave me Mercedes when I was a teenager, or when I was a child. Woo boy. We'll also have special guest Lights Camera Jackson on the Prelude episode. So make sure to listen to that too. So come back to us next week, and in the meantime, get to the hind. Then blow it up.
Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.